Hey there, everybody. I'm Leslie Kolovich, and we are live here in my basement studio right here on Hound Dog Radio. Super excited to be here tonight. Let's see how big of the delay we have going on out here, and let me know if we've got this going. It's slow here in Florida because it is very cold still. I am not complaining again, but it is. It feels like temperature right now of 39 degrees here in the panhandle of Florida. Nothing, I'm not complaining, not whining. When you see pictures of Niagara Falls completely frozen, does that blow your mind? Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight here in the basement studio. Like I said, I'm really excited to be here. And let me tell you a little bit about what this show is all about. As many of you have followed me through live venue with music, you can tell that I love music. I really, really love music. And I love helping young musicians, old musicians, anyone who's got a passion for music and got the guts and the courage to get up on stage and play music and write music. I want to help promote that. So here in the basement studio, this is an opportunity for me to be able to do one-on-one interviews with musicians and songwriters and give them a stage to be able to perform and to tell the stories behind their music. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I have a great little studio here in the basement. Let me show you where our studio audience will be. But tonight I'm calling it my cat and dog camera. So we're going over here. You can see over there, blending in the white blanket and the orange chair, is my dog Buddy, Chihuahua Maltese mix, and Rocky. He's a toy Australian Shepherd. And Skip just got off the couch. Of course, he's a little bit camera shy. So, but we will, he'll jump back up there, I'm pretty sure. He's right down here by my feet. But anyway, that is, for now, the dog camera that I'm going to just, pan over there every now and then see, because I like music. They love being in the studio too. But in the future, starting next week, we will have live music in the studio, and that will be our lucky studio audience. And so, back over here, just before we get started, so we know what the show is all about. So tonight, I have been doing community radio for, since 2005. I'd been doing talk shows since 2005, and I love interviewing musicians, artists, people. I just love interviewing people, hearing their stories. So last year, during the 30A Songwriters Festival here along the beaches of South Walton, I had the opportunity to have several musicians in my studio, and we did podcast interviews. So I had some amazing people in here with some great stories about their music and how they got started, and they play live on these podcasts. So I've chosen a couple of interviews that I'd like to share with you tonight. So what I'm going to do tonight is just play these interviews, and then I'll come back from the interview because they do play live music there. We'll talk a little bit about it. If you have questions about it, I'll be able to hopefully answer it because I was there in the interview. And I have their CDs, so we'll continue playing some of the music that come from the musicians from tonight's groups. Tonight we're going to be focusing on a group called Kazoots. They're down in Miami. They're a very cool African Afro world sound. Really cool. They bring in a drum and a really smooth sound, powerful sound. And then we'll go listen to one of my favorite singer-songwriters who is a fantastic writer and poet, very renowned poet, Jeep Rosenberg. It's a great interview with him, and he plays live right here in my basement studio. So stay right here on Hound Dog Radio with us for these. Okay, so before I even start there, did you hear the news today? As many of you know, I love coffee. Hang on. Gotta have a sip. Coffee's good. And I was listening to NPR this morning, and there's this really cool thing happening out in San Diego, California. Did you hear this? Oh my gosh, you're going to hear it if you haven't. It's called the Cat Cafe. It's a coffee house for cat lovers, for people who can't have a cat at their house, or when they go out, they just can't be away from their cat. But this is a coffee house where you get to go buy your coffee, really good California, locally roasted, I'm sure. And then you get to go spend 15 minutes at least in a cat playpen where you get to play with cats from the San Diego Humane Society. And what a really cool thing. And they actually have people lined up at peak times outside of the place, sipping their coffee to take their time to be able to go in and be with these cats. Now, of course, there's rules to be in the Cat Cafe. As long as you're buying a cup of coffee or something from there, the entrance is free. If you just want to go in and play with the cats, it's a $5 fee. Brilliant, don't you think? I do. And of course, they give you some guidelines about before you go into the playpen with the cats is that, know the signs of when a cat is doesn't want to be pet or played with. Always no loud sounds. They want everybody to go in there and be calm and nice to the cats. That's nice. And then, of course, it's being monitored by the Humane Society in San Diego, so everything is on the up and up with that. And you can also set up an appointment to adopt a cat while you're there, too. So what a really cool thing. Cats and coffee. So that just leads me to a song that I just was thinking about. Takes me back to my high school days, back to the debut album. I know you can guess what it is going to be. Back in June 1982. Yeah, the Stray Cat Strut. Here we go. And again, we're listening to Leslie live here on Hound Dog Radio.
With my tail in the air, stray cat strut, I'm a lady's cat. I'm a feeling Casanova. Hey, man, outside. Get a shoe thrown at me from a mean old man. Get my dinner from a garbage can. Yeah, don't cross my path. Cat style. cat style.
The Stray Cats. I wonder if they are heading to the Cat Cafe out in San Diego, California. I sure wish that I could. Actually, I want to take you again back over to the dog cam. I've got 2 of my 3 dogs over here in my studio audience tonight. They're just warming up the audience room for next week because we're going to have a really amazing live show next week. Let me just take you right to the picture of this guy. This is Chauncey Crandall. He's going to be here live in the basement studio next Thursday night, performing and interviewing with me. This guy has got a couple of albums out on iTunes. He is an amazing songwriter, and with a sound so folk, Americana, just kind of, again, these musicians that I'm interviewing lately are coming across, there's not really a box for them, that they're just that good, and kind of creating their own genre, actually. So back to what we're talking about earlier, is that I said I was going to be doing some of the music interviews that I did from last 38 Songwriters. And this is Kazoots. They are a Afro-Indian indie group. It's a Inez Barletier, Jayan Bertrand. These guys are amazing. They're just in their early 20s. They said to me that they feel like they have a responsibility as songwriters, and they hope to have an important voice for injustices around the world. And these guys are very, very active in their community down in Miami. So let me see if I can pull this up, and here you go. Enjoy right here on Hound Dog Radio. Hey there, this is Leslie Kolovich, and you're listening to the SUP radio show, where we're bringing you soulful, uplifting programming, and we have a special for 38 Songwriters Festival this weekend. In the studio right now, Kazoots, Jayan, Inez, and Michanique.
To conceal them, so I just let you be there. Lonely hearts are wanting more. We are not as willing as we were before. We don't want to give any more like the others, less than what we deserve. As timid as I am, as careless as you are, you wondered why I was scared.
Can't imagine what you might look like that day. was the last time I could hardly look away. And I was lying when I said my heart decayed, and your touch stunned me, and our kiss was a long delay.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you.
What an absolute smooth, silky, melt away sound.
You'd be surprised that Giant actually wrote that song.
Giant, tell us about this. Well, first let's get our listeners to know who you guys are. Where are you from?
Oh, we are from Miami.
From Miami.
Yeah. I thought it'd be a little warmer when I got up here. Because I thought, this is still technically Florida.
Exactly.
But
We're lower Alabama, really,
Yeah.
really. So you're originally from Miami.
Born and raised Miami.
Nice. Okay, so how do you describe your sound?
We call it Afro indie rock to make it easy for everybody. But what it really is, it's like playing roots music of every culture, but adding more rhythm.
I love it. I love this sound. And what's more exciting about it too is to watch your body language as you're playing. You know, you have this beautiful voice, Inez. I mean, it's just like I said, silky smooth. But the feel when you're swaying with your body, it just goes with the sound. I mean, it's amazing. I hope we have some video of this. Tell me how you guys got into writing music and performing like this.
our parents actually played in a band together in the 80s called Kazakh.
Yeah.
And, we grew up together. So eventually we got our own project started. And as that went along, I started writing my own stuff too. And, eventually I tried to integrate my music into the band. And this is, that song we just played was a product of that.
Right. How do you write music like this? It is a sound, isn't it? Mm. It's mostly a sound. I mean, is it something that's just comes to you, You're just picking up your guitar and it just flows out through your fingers?
Yeah, usually the music comes from me first, and then I just add lyrics later depending on how the song feels to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And do you collaborate together when you're writing?
Yes, we collaborate sometimes. When we first started, it was just me and my guitar singing folk music, and like he said, melodies come to him, or guitar comes to him first. For me, it's lyrics and melodies first. And like we separately, we go in our rooms, we play guitar, we practice, we mess around, and we find something. And for the band, we bring it to the rehearsal space, the practice, and we see what we can add on top of it.
Nice. How long have you been doing this or playing together?
4+ years.
4+ years. How old are you?
22.
22.
21.
Wow. There's some youth here. It's exciting to see, you know. Who are some of the people that you really admire in the music world?
For me, I love vocalists. I love Esther Phillips, Tracy Chapman, of course.
Oh,
A
yeah.
funny story about Tracy Chapman is my dad used to play her to my mom's belly a lot in the house. And it's funny how that came about. But Tracy Chapman, Esther Phillips, Angelique Kidjo is a big favorite of mine.
Nice, nice. With Tracy Chapman, you have a favorite? Do you play any of her music?
When I was in my folk stuff, I used to play her because it was a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, you even look like her." If I want to go to Hollywood and be like a superstar and like a poser, I can do that. Well, my favorite song to sing with her was "Don't You Know They're Talking About a Revolution Sounds Like a Whisper."
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. She was one of my most favorites. When did she first come out with her first album? Taking me way back. Early 90s, late 80s?
Like her popular songs, you think?
Her like Fast Car and...
Oh, her first, yeah. Her song to me was actually Revolution, because my dad's he's a revolutionary person, so all the songs that he would find would be political songs. So that's how I was introduced to Tracy.
Okay, gotcha, yeah. So what do you think about Songwriters Festival here in 30A?
Oh, it's great. I love it. I want to come back and play as many times as possible.
Right on, so we're down to the last day. You know, here we are, almost over. What would you say has been your best moment here so far?
I think it was seeing the first performer when I got here. I think it was Paul Seabar. He was doing a workshop at the Boathouse. And I remember thinking to myself, I was probably not going to enjoy it because I'm not really into folk music. But then as I sat through it and listened, and then I saw more acts, and, you know, it changed my mind a lot. And
yeah,
it really changed my viewpoint on the folk and a lot of the bluegrass that I've been hearing lately. So
yeah, it's interesting too. You know, a lot of these guys are all coming from Nashville and definitely from the South. And we were talking about this earlier, another show about songwriters from the South. You know, it's because they're storytellers. We sit on our porches and we tell those stories, and then they turn it into music. You know, it's a story to be told. Tell us a little bit more about Mishnique here. Is this also your sister?
This is my sister, and when we travel, she's our traveling percussionist.
She's a traveling percussionist. She's not just the sister. And it takes, you know, you have to have talent to play a percussion.
I keep trying to bring her in. I've been trying to bring her in since we started playing music.
Yeah.
But she's in her own projects, and I can't force her.
No, it'll come. It'll come naturally whenever it's supposed to, right? So let's do another piece of yours. You have another song that you'd like to do?
Yes, we're going to do a song called Where's Your Home that I wrote a few years back about finding solidarity in everywhere you go.
And everywhere you go. Okay, great.
Where is your home? Out of balance from the power that comes from the now. There you will go. See the damage of the people who's cash over souls. Or where is your home? In the village where the people are chased by the guns. There you will go. See the suits of the men who forgot where they're from. But the times, they are changing, and our ways would not last for too long. In the times we are learning, there is little that we really own. So you get up and don't know what to do no more. So you get up and don't know what to do no more. So you get up and go. Where is your home? Out of balance from the power that comes from the now. There you will go. See the damage of the people who's cash over souls. Where is your home? In the village where the people are chased by the guns. times there you will go. See the suits of the men who forgot where they're from. But the times, they are changing, and our ways will not last for too long. In the times we are learning, there is little that we really own. So you get up and down, know what to do no more. So you get up and down, know what to do no more. So you get up and go. Times they are changing, and our ways will not last for too long. In the times we are learning, there is little that we really own. So you get up and down, know what to do no more. So you get up and down, know what to do no more. So you get up and go.
What a powerful song. What a powerful song. You are telling your stories. And what an opportunity, too, to have the music together and to be able to put these words to this. You guys are going places. This is so cool to hear and hear this sound. I love your voice.
Thank you.
Keep it going. You got another one? We got to get the percussion in here, sister.
The last song is
okay. So what else you want to tell? What is something you want to tell us about you guys?
About us?
Yeah. What is your hope, your aspiration with this group? Is you want to get messages out with your songs? Is that what you're...
I've noticed over time, I'm only 22 now, but my mind has been more about performing before this, performing and being able to be electrifying on stage and just being something people...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting older and I'm getting more conscious about politics and what's going on, I'm not there yet, but I see where my place is, and because I do have a voice, I feel I have a kind of responsibility to say something, to be a part of something, at least to have awareness, to give awareness to people.
Right.
I don't know where I'm going to be in like 10 years, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhere in not politics, but underground politics. I can just see it coming. I see it coming inside of me because there's this fire inside me. I don't like injustice, so I can see it coming, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, well, that's something we both agree on. We truly abhor injustice.
Yes. Yeah. And what a more powerful way to get that message out and that feeling from you is you have a mic and you have this voice and you can put it into words and you can sing it. And I think people listen to messages so much more through song.
Yes, because it's going in their body.
Yeah, you feel it. And you feel it on a cellular level when you feel the music and you feel a rhythm. I think you guys have got a great path ahead of you. I'm getting goosebumps.
Thank you.
And we know what that means. Woo! Why don't you take us out with another song? And I know you guys are playing with Chris tonight at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
At the Pandora's Side Room.
Side Room.
The last song I'm going to play is called Aye Bobo, and it's a Haitian rhythm. Like the last one we played was a Racine rhythm. This one here is going to be a Yanvalu, and I'll warn you, at the end of it, we're going to be chanting a Haitian song.
Love it.
Called Wongo.
I'm warning everybody.
So, just in case something happens.
Do I need to light some incense?
Catch the spirit or something.
Actually, sometimes when I'm really into the song, I do go somewhere else. And sometimes if I'm not careful, if I close my eyes the whole time, I can't get carried away. So
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Maybe not here, but...
No, this is a safe place to do that. You can do that right here.
keeping me down. So when nights reawaken, I start anew. 'Cause if skies that crumble and brings tears to your eyes can rise up in the morning and bring hope through sunken eyes, then the love that was lost can start anew. Give me the light. When my heart beats a drum louder than you and I, louder than you and I. 'Cause if skies that crumble and brings tears to your eyes can rise up in the morning and bring hope through sunken eyes, then the love that was lost can start anew.
Powerful. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you so much. Absolutely. That was Kazoots here on SUP Radio Show. Man, I look forward to following your careers. And keep in touch with me, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it. I'm going to say I knew them when they were in my house.
I really like your closing slogan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
SUP Radio Show, soulful, uplifting people. Kazoots. Have a great day. Live your life with purpose. See ya. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. I just, hearing that in my headset, just listening to it, because I was there when that happened, obviously. But hearing it again was it was a lot of fun. Brought back a lot of really cool emotions about why we do this stuff. It's people that have music in their soul that has, such power, and here we are getting to hear these young people that are writing music like this. And as they said, they're doing roots culture that, and putting rhythm to it, and how as they're growing up and learning more and more about the world and getting more and more involved with helping to create a voice to stop injustices from happening around the world. So you can check them out on their Facebook page, Kazoots on Facebook, Kazoots, and you can see everything that they're involved with. And it's just been a year since I did that interview with them, and I know that they're very much involved with a lot that's happening in the Miami area and in the world, and their voice is becoming quite powerful. All right, so next up, I don't know, I think hopefully you are still hearing me because my internet down here seems to be very slow on my wireless, but on my computer, stand by. Let me see if I can make some adjustments. Make sure I'm still going out. Went offline. I went offline or the show went offline. I don't know. It looks like I'm still going, Bobby. Stand by. So let's see. Okay, yeah, here I am. I'm back. No worries. That was just a little internet glitch here, but I'm back here. All right, yeah. Anyway, so you were listening to me, Leslie Kolovich, live here in our basement studio. And I was trying to see if I can get over here to the dog cam. What? There's the Skipper boy. He traded places with Rocky. Skippy and Rock are toy Australian Shepherds. They happen to be the love of my life, these little puppy boys. Love them. Love these dogs. Yes, I do. Okay, so continuing on with the interviews that I have done back in 2014 with the 30A Songwriters Festival. I had the opportunity to sit down with, about 7 different music groups and or single acts, and each one of them has a totally different style, and man, it was very, very cool to be able to be a part of, getting to hear and the stories that are behind their songs. And Jeep Rosenberg, man, what a really, really cool guy. Jeep is one of these guys who is so accomplished in so many things, especially in his writing. He's published in poetry. And he was born and raised in South Carolina, started playing music when he was age 15. And he tells us the story about how he gets started. And there goes Skip, how he gets started in music. And so here it is. This is Jeep Rosenberg. This is also, have you noticed that I say SUP Radio Show, Soulful Uplifting People? That's my website. And I do have podcast interviews there and some amazing blogs from people, myself, and I have some other people that are writing blogs for us about standing up for the planet, about sustainable living, about art, music, and all things living with purpose. Okay, here is the interview with Jeep Rosenberg last January 2014. Hey there, this is Leslie Kolovich, and you're listening to the SUP Radio Show, soulful, uplifting program. And we today are still focusing on the 38 songwriters, and I'm super excited to have in the studio today Jeep Rosenberg. Jeep, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm going to just fade out on the guitar. Nice to be here. Beautiful day.
Man, beautiful
on the
guitar.
Gulf Coast.
Yeah, I mean, what a better place to be on a Monday morning, right?
Yeah. Beats all the lemmings on the way to work. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that.
No, I hear you. Well, I got the wonderful opportunity to be a part of your workshop that you did yesterday at the Boathouse for songwriters, and it was just great to hear you talk because you're so accomplished in poetry and songwriting combined, and your message was great to hear.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's just been, obsession of mine since I was a teenager, and then looking at, I write poetry as well and publish some, and yet that impulse, how it tends to go one direction or the other, wants to marry with melody sometimes, wants to just be on the page. It's a bit of a mystery. You can do it for 50 years, it's still a mystery.
Wow. So as a child, just writing poetry just kind of came naturally to you, or you're the one that was just writing all the time?
Yeah, I wrote a lot, although it's interesting, when I was a student writer, I guess, I was focused on fiction, and I wrote short stories mostly, and then when I got to college, I started to write poetry then.
Nice. You're very accomplished. Like you said, you are published in American Poetry Review. And what is it that you mostly write about with your poetry? Does it follow along with your American roots for music, or is it other?
That's a very good question. It's so impulsive and so intuitive. Sometimes it's just about perception of the natural world or interpersonal stuff. It really could take anything, and sometimes it's just driven by a sense of form. You want to write a certain kind of a poem structurally. I did one poem that's almost like an old hillbilly vaudeville thing, but it was based on a Mongolian poetry form where the rhyme is in the first syllable of the line,
Wow.
So it's just like, how am I going to, it's like a little puzzle. You make a challenge and then you just see if you can do it.
Nice. Very cool. So when did you start writing your music?
Well, I'd been in some folk groups, and I started playing music professionally when I was 15 in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. I'd moved from South Carolina, where I was raised as a child, and got into the old folk scare, the folk revival. And I started with, playing kind of commercial folk music, a sort of Kinks and Trio, Limelighters, Peter,
nice.
Paul and Mary type of stuff when I was 15.
When you were 15.
Yeah. And I, basically just doing covers and some original arrangements. I got into college, and I got into jug band music, which was sort of a gateway drug for a lot of people to get into funkier kinds of folk music. And at that point, I started experimenting, writing a little bit. I'll tell you a story. A good friend of mine up in West Virginia, Steve Warner, he was playing at a festival once, and he's quite a good, accomplished songwriter, and not famous or anything, but he's a professional and not known, So a guy came up to him after the show and referring to a song, he said, "Is that a real song, or did you write it yourself?" so there's this sense of like there's this sort of gods up there on the mountaintop, that are doing, it's where where Bob Dylan lives, or
right,
whatever,
right up there in the clouds, yeah.
And then there's the rest of us, But slowly that division dissolves, So I'd started writing a few songs of my own as I was a young adult, and then kind of evolved.
Very cool. Well, I loved, your explanation for, poetry and songwriting, heightened words. Can you explain that a little to our listeners?
Well, I guess one of the definitions of poetry in the broadest sense is that it's heightened language. Even if it's not ordinary language, it could be very refined, very esoteric, but also even poetry that's conversational, like most songs are. It's usually a kind of replica of real speech. It's an artistic replica. I'll give you a great example. The writer Elmore Leonard has written all these detective stories and so forth. He's famous for his dialogue, and it sounds so naturalistic. But if you compare his dialogue to a transcription, like say when they eavesdrop on the mafia, the FBI, and they have all these transcriptions of actual phone conversations, they don't square up, Right. People start and stop, they repeat, they do all kinds of things in natural speech. But Elmore Leonard has found an artistic way to kind of extract something that makes you really feel that it's it's like super dialogue. So I think a lot of poetry and song is like that. It's heightened language in some way. Its focus is elevated, and in really great writers, I think, have almost create their own kind of language.
Absolutely, and I love it because, it is a language that the soul understands.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you are a global guy. I mean, you have been around the world in so many different, wearing so many different hats. But I get a feeling that music runs through your veins. It's part of you, wherever you are. And I was looking at your bio, and you are a former Green Beret sergeant, a UN peacekeeper. You've got some pretty big experiences and stories from those, I'm sure.
Well, it's a beautiful world. There's a lot of unhappiness in it, a lot of tragedy, but it's also a beautiful world. And I feel pretty privileged that I've met people all over the world. And I mean, very in the Balkans and in Mozambique, really far corners of the globe. And yet, people are people, and you absorb the music, you absorb the human kindness and interaction. Yeah,
and the culture from them all these different countries.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah, for sure.
First assignment I had with the UN, it was at the end of the Civil War in Mozambique, 94. And the nature of my recruitment was such that it was like a human cannonball. They kind of recruited me, and 3 days later I was in Africa, And as a result of which, I missed Thanksgiving, my wedding anniversary, Christmas,
Yikes.
Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, the whole bit. Just that was the timing, and so I was kind of on the asteroid belt there in terms of that sort of personal feeling. And I had a local staff member. He was from Cape Verde actually, and one of the other Portuguese-speaking places. And his sister was a local pediatrician. And they were so sensitive to the fact they realized that I was far from home. And believe me, Mozambique is where the buses don't run. I mean, you can't get too much farther out there. And it's a beautiful country. But they invited me to Cape Verdean Christmas Eve, which they celebrate kind of like we do New Year's. It's more like New Year's. It's a big you dance, you drink, you have these huge feasts, and basically you just kind of do it till you pass out about 3 in the morning, And they have Christmas, presents too.
Right.
But it was they just invited me into their lives, And that's the kind of thing that's precious. And you find out that human nature is this sort of this. It's kind of like the stuff, the juice, but it cuts. It just cuts different channels in different cultures, But the stuff of humankind is all kind of all the same.
Yeah, absolutely. We are all human beings, and that's what we share. It doesn't matter where we are on this planet. We share that same thing. Exactly.
You bet.
Now, you have a song on one of your CDs that probably goes along really nicely with this topic.
Well, in terms of the peacekeeping experience, I actually wrote, I think, the fourth cut on my album. This CD is called Silver Bluff Estates, which is actually named after a little housing tract in South Carolina I lived in the early 50s. This song I wrote when I was working in Kosovo with the UN, kind of wrote it for my colleagues. Mm-hmm. And it's about the lifestyle and the cost of that lifestyle. It's a sort of an industry saving the world, if you think about it. There's a tsunami, there's a failed state, there's a refugee camp, and so forth. And people are in that industry, if you think of it in those terms, and they kind of get stuck out there, going from one trouble spot to the other, mm-hmm. and a little bit like the military. And it's very seductive in the sense that it's missionary kind of good works, military adrenaline, and right. You're doing something important, but then the personal cost is sometimes a little high. So this is called "We're in the World's Worst Places for the World's Best Reasons."
Wow.
So that's the.
All right, let's have a listen.
Song.
We're in the world's worst places for the world's best reasons. Season after season, does anybody care? We're here for peace and justice, but the folks don't seem to trust us. We're missing all our chances, thinning out our hair. Jeffrey's a copper from Trinidad, but he wants to be a cowboy, wiring half his salary for that ranch near Saskatoon. Marcy saves the children, my God, it's so bewildering, those solemn eyes and missing limbs that haunt her afternoons. We're in the world's worst places for the world's best reasons. The movers and the shakers agree that we should care, but our kids no longer know us. Our spouses, they outgrow us. We're missing all our chances, thinning out our hair. Hey look, here comes Charlie. He was with us in Somalia. I heard the missus called it quits while he was in Timor. Watch how much he's drinking and the way he's lately thinking. One of us should drive his 4x4. We're in the world's worst places for the world's best reasons. Season after season, I hope somebody cares. We're here for peace and justice, but the folks don't seem to trust us. Missing all our chances, thinning out our hair. And as the tarmac fades into the haze, suddenly it's Amsterdam or JFK. Wonder how we'll spend our precious days, and how can we adjust to normal ways after the world's worst places for the world's best reasons. Season after season, I guess we must have cared. And while I'm hauling out the trash, the neighbor calls to ask. He says, I haven't seen you for a while. Have you been somewhere? He says, I haven't seen you for a while. Have you been somewhere? Been in the world's worst places for the world's best reasons.
Wow, Jeep. You were really telling a story there that most likely a lot of the servicemen were feeling too.
I think so, yeah. It's very much the same kind of world, the same kind of issues, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. So do you find yourself heavily into politics and the political scene, and does that bring words to you a lot?
Well, I mean, I consider myself very aware politically, and I've volunteered in a few political campaigns at a low level. The connection with my art is always tricky. I haven't written very many songs that I would consider political. I'm very selective about it. The songs can become either preachy or get date stamped in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I have a couple. I wrote one about the Depression, the Great Depression, or the Great Recession. I'm sorry. Diet. It's called tuna fish and spaghetti. You know, sort of like and here and there I'll do something, but most of it is more personal or stories about people or whatever.
Yeah. So this was the 5th annual 30A Songwriters Festival, and you've been a part of all of them?
Since day one. It's been amazing. It's become sort of a highlight of my calendar in many ways, artistically, socially. I have some family in the area. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So how would you say, or what would you say this particular one, what was the best moment for you this time around?
Oh my. I heard a couple of younger artists that really impressed me. I actually did a show with Chris Alvarado, and that was a great pleasure, local guy. Yeah. And there's a young fella from Amarillo, Ryan Cattell. I thought he's a fantastic writer, interesting style. And then I heard the wrap-up jam at Rosemary Town Hall with Jerry Douglas and Gretchen Peters and Pierce Pettis, and it was a great keyboard player. I'm embarrassed I can't remember his name, but it was just an amazing display of heart and musicianship.
Yeah, when you get people, such creative people all together in a beautiful place like this, man, the vibe is huge.
Oh. It's really, the word unique gets tossed around a lot, but this case it qualifies. Yeah,
most definitely. Recently, you've been ranked number 10 among Americana artists in New York metro area.
Yeah, I guess that's the Reverb Nation charting service. I never quite figured it out, but it sounds good.
Yeah, that's real good. That sounds real good. You've got lots of awards under your belt, and I have to tell you, you're just one of the most down-to-earth, real people I've ever met.
Well, golly.
Yeah.
It must be working.
It's working. Do you have a song you want to play for us live just a little bit? I know your voice has been worn out from the weekend, so. No,
I think I've got one that doesn't require too much of my Bernadette Peters, Melissa Manchester chops. Okay. Well, of course, that last one was rather contemplative, I guess, or solemn or whatever. This is definitely on the wacky end. Let's see, what should I say? Of the many things that I could say. Well, a detective novel is about 80,000 words. But if you're as lazy as I am, you can get by with 7 verses and a chorus. So that's... this is called Lies and Fears, Part 2, and there is no Part 1. The first line is actually taken from the first line of a famous noir detective novel by Charles Willeford. So I tried to start with that line and then write this rather eccentric version of a detective story.
Sounds good.
A sailor came in, ordered a chili dog. I was staring out the window at the San Francisco fog. They called me an angel of mercy, for she was angel food cake. Taking a slice was my singular mistake. The
man in the coonskin cap dropped by my booth with pages carefully torn from the book of Ruth. He was searching for expiation from a surfing incident. For my usual fee, I maybe could help the gent. Lies, lies and fears. Lies, lies and fears. I could smell Chanel as she walked through the door. Got that dry mouth feeling, the kind I've had before. With her on the SWAT team and the name of the Mother of God, and a hard luck story, my shaky Scheherazade. She said, "You've got to help me, Murray. That's not my name. My sister cooks meth, but you know I'm not to blame. She was always so resentful of the thing between Daddy and me. And now the probate's slow, I'm in impecunity." Lies, lies and fears. Lies, lies and fears. Well, I called her doll face the way they do in the book. Took a post-dated check and said, "Sure, I'll have a look." Drove down to Livermore where her sister worked in particle physics. You know, I was getting jerked. Amanda said, "Mary, she's crazy as a bug, but you know she's kin." Sighed and gave a little shrug. I was scrambling for traction like a lizard in a washing machine, getting nowhere fast. The clothes wasn't coming clean. Lies, lies and fears. Lies, lies and fears. Mailed back the check, headed down to Watsonville. Had a breakfast burrito and plenty of time to kill. Stood by the slough, thought of you, and here the story ends. It's a nasty business, stay out of it, my friends. Lies, lies and fears. Lies, lies and fears.
Nice, nice. I loved it. A lizard in a washing machine.
Yeah, that usually stops people short.
It's so visual. I got that one. I really got it.
When you're really in a panic.
Jeep, thank you so much for taking some time with me today.
Well, it's truly my pleasure.
You know, I know you got to get out there on that beautiful golf course here before you head back home to New York City, right?
One of the benefits.
That's right. That's right. Well, I hope to see you again next year. And I know you've got a CD. You're making a new one?
That's right. Yeah,
That's
got it.
right.
The provisional title is "Not Even Snakes."
Not even snakes.
I have a grandson who's 5 years old, and of course he has a lot of fears, and
Yeah.
anxieties. So he always tells himself, "I'm not afraid of anything, not even snakes."
Not even snakes. Well, I look forward to it. When can we kind of anticipate it?
Well, I mean, hopefully by the summer.
Nice.
So
Very
I'll
good.
Try to tell the world.
Very good. We will tell the world. You keep in touch with me, please.
I will do that.
JeepRosenberg.com for more information about your music and your bio. You've got a great website. It's fun to look at. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the SUP radio show, Soulful, Uplifting People on Jeep Rosenberg. Certainly fits the bill today. Whatever you do today, live your life with purpose. See ya. And man, that was Jeep Rosenberg. That was back in January 2014. And I just love that guy. I mean, just listening to him play live right there, the words to that song, it's telling a story. I mean, can't you just see yourself in San Francisco watching the fog roll in, and his Angel of Mercy, because she's angel food cake. Yeah. Songwriters, I love it. I mean, when you write a song, you just have so much opportunity to say a lot. Sometimes people, for me, I can sing my feelings better than I can talk them. Anyway, I am Leslie Kolovich, and we are live here on Hound Dog Radio. And thank you for joining us tonight. If you're just tuning in with us, thank you for being here. Tonight, we're just starting the show from the basement studio here, and I am running some of the cool interviews that I've done in the past. Starting next week, we will have live musicians in this studio for the same type of thing. We'll be doing interviews. They'll be playing live. We'll have a live studio audience. So if you are interested in being in the studio audience, just private message me on Facebook. Make sure you like Leslie Kolovich Live on Facebook. And or friend me, Leslie Kolovich, on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. We're all tweeting. Bobby, are you tweeting yet? Hey, Hound Dog. Thanks for joining us today. Well, I was going to just go ahead and play some of the music from the two interviews that we've done tonight. So I think I will go ahead and get back to Kazoots and do some music off of their CD. It is a self-produced CD, so it's really cool, kind of raw sounding. And I know they are in the studio now coming up with their second CD. They are very busy down in Miami, as you can imagine. They're very involved with lots of different important groups down there and singing like they had hoped for, to have their voice be heard for all the injustices in the world, especially to the Afro-Americans and Africans and anyone in the world who's having injustices done to them. So let me see if I can pull up some of their music from their CD right here. I really like this world sound. It really does kind of touch the soul. This song is called Human Beast, right here on Hound Dog Radio. I really like this world sound. It really does. I don't think I can be able to do this. Shoot, hang on. No, I can't do this because I'm playing it on the same. Stand by. I can do this. I am smarter than anything that we can ever imagine. We're going to go right here. I'm going to do a quick switch of computers and get very technical. And I can sing while I'm doing that too. Who's going to kill the party? Dad's in the house? No, it's our hound dog. Our hound dog Frank just joined us in the chat room. Don't worry, we are ready to play some music. And this one is called The Beast by Kazoots. Enjoy it right here on Hound Dog Radio.
Pity the fool who drinks in green. 'Cause the sooner you get there, the sooner they take your leave. But I'm a castaway, steadily taking my place. I see others look for how much they can take. But you cannot blame now, you cannot blame my human beast. No, you cannot blame now, you cannot blame my you hear signs from everywhere. People are talking and nothing can overhear. They say the sky so has different strokes. That means that something is coming. The skies cannot change on their own. And I'm a castaway, steadily taking my place. I see others look for how much they can take. But you cannot blame me, you cannot blame my human beast. No, you cannot blame me, you cannot blame my human beast. Yeah. She's living reality. Her mother told her that she shouldn't be where dreams do fail. Once you learn how to play a victim, he's not a man, but he gets away with it. Women are out there just looking to babysit a cleaning his bed while he spills out from his head. I will not linger on that. My people behind, even if the gods tear me suffering, I refuse to die while alive. Children are learning that money's a gods and people are pointing, but I just laugh at them. Isn't it obvious we all play a part in this closer than we know? I will not linger on like my mother did, nor will I leave my people behind. Even if the gods tear me suffering, I refuse to die while I'm alive. down the feed. Surprise, surprise, some this time got nothing nice to say. People getting angry, especially when they're spent. For the greatest people in history are the blue collar, working hard and underpaid. New money, walking high on phony pride. Isn't it funny how much can change with dollar signs? A polished hustler claim that they can make me, and the bourgeois all the riches for ya. And easily I would dance like a dog for me till they were bothered when they found out that a dollar can't chain me, no. Humble beginnings taught me I don't need anyone. Humble beginning. Many men fall, but many men won. Every warrior, we just have to have it made. And the bourgeois said to me, now we will get all the riches for ya. When they found out that a dollar can't change me, no. La da da da, da da hey, la da da da, da 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 da. We don't jump for the bourgeois, we don't jump for the bourgeoisie, we don't jump for the bourgeois, we don't jump for the bourgeoisie, we don't jump for the bourgeois, we don't jump for the bourgeoisie. In the bourgeois said to me now, we will get all the riches for ya, baby. And easily I would bathe in the pools of green. And easily I would bathe in the pools of green. Yeah, now easily I would bathe in the pools of green. They were bothered when they found out that a dollar can't wash me. Where is your home? Out of balance from the power that comes from the north. There you will go. See the damage of the people whose cash over souls. So where is your home? In the village where the people are chased by the guns. There you will go. See the suits of the men who forgot where they're from. But the times, they are changing, and our ways would not last for too long. In the times we are learning, there is little that we really own. So you get up and don't know what to do. people whose cash over souls. So where is your home? In the village where the people not chased by the gods. Then you really go see the suits of the men who forgot where they're from. But the times, they are changing, and our ways would not last for too long. In the times we are learning, there is little that we really own. So you get up and you know what to do no more. So you get up and you know what to do no more. So you get up and go. That was
Yeah, that was Revolution Blues by Kazoots. That's Inez Bartletier, Jayan Bertrand, and Michonique Bartletier as well. I'm Leslie Kolovich, and we are live here in the basement studio on Hound Dog Radio. Hound Dog Radio is a cool little radio station up there in Tybee Island, Georgia. I know it's kind of cold up there too. Everywhere is cold except for where it's not supposed to be. It's warm out west. Go figure. Well, you know, we're having a fantastic night here. I really enjoy being on the mic. It's kind of different for me, as you know, if you've been following me in the show, that I am usually at live music venues with lots of sound in the background. But this is something I have done. This is kind of where my career started, was in a little community radio station in a little tiny closet booth that and Bobby Raines, you know, who's out here too. His show's on Wednesday night, Studio 38 Live with Bobby. He and I were at the same little community radio station here in Seaside, Florida, where we were just literally, the studio was about as big as my desk. And so we're kind of used to being a little quiet spot. It's kind of nice, actually. So this show, starting next week, I will have live musicians in the studio doing these types of interviews with me. And so we'll get to have some in-depth interviews with some incredible musicians, and they'll get to play live. So I do have like 3 weeks lined up. So I'm keeping it a secret for, you know, next week, actually. I'm not going to keep this secret because this is a pretty big deal. Let me tell you who's coming next week. All right, this guy right here, Chauncey Crandall. All right, this guy, he is, let me just read you this bio about him. His new record features an impressively eclectic melding of music styles, spanning from country-tinged rock, bluegrass, folk, and even hints of reggae. In a sea of contemporary pop country artists who have completely abandoned its folk roots and peddled the shallowest of sediments, Chauncey's music is grounded in a heartfelt poetry and sharp storytelling, maintaining a sense of Americana tradition with an eagerness to experiment. I am so excited to meet this guy and to hear his stories. TJ out at the Green Door actually told me, Leslie, you've got to hear this guy. You've got to have him on your show. He said he was down at the Green Door, not during a live show or anything out there. He just kind of came in and just started jamming, and TJ just turned around and just like, man, I was like, oh my gosh. He just blew me away. He is so good. And so if you're interested in being part of the studio audience here for the show next week with Chauncey Crandall, I don't know where I get lure. Anyway, just private message me through Facebook, or if you have my phone number, if you're the lucky one, give me a text. You can be part of the studio audience here next week to hear Chauncey for his stories behind his songs and live acoustic play for us right here in my basement. So that'll be really cool. All right, well, it is about 8:30 tonight, Central Time, and all of a sudden I just realized that it is freezing. I mean, I'm just starting to shiver. I am in the basement, and the basements should be cold, but I don't know why I'm cold. I gotta hold my coffee. Hold on a second. Oh, my coffee is now even cold. All right, I want to say hi to everybody who's listening out there online. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. And what do you say, Bobby? Let me see what's up here, and I might be able to. Yeah, you got to come down, be a part of the audience, Bobby. Really would love you to join us here. If you're in the 30A area, South Walton area, or wherever you are, and you want to be a part of this audience, just let us know. We can hold about 10 people. And I know I have at least 4 seats already taken. So 6 lucky people. Don't wait. Add a microwave to the basement, Bobby says. Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I'll probably bring the grill out on the back deck, and we can grill something outside and have a nice little barbecue and And you saw the picture, Chauncey. He looks like he would really enjoy that kind of thing with all of us. Just kind of sit around and have a few cold ones together and sing and listen to his amazing voice. Okay, Bobby Rains really would like me to play an interview that I did with singer-songwriter Jeff McBride. He is an amazing guy. He lives in this area, in the 30A area. And I know his wife, his beautiful family, his children. And Bobby, I think you might have been one that actually introduced me to Jeff and Tim Jackson and all those guys, and talk about just really cool people. Jeff McBride is one of those really cool people. Family, fantastic. So I did this interview, gosh, I'm going to say it's been over a year, Bobby. I'm going to say maybe a year and a half. I think it was back when he was doing his fundraising for his last CD. But let me see if I can pull that up for you, and so we can enjoy it together one more time. Right here on Hound Dog Radio. This is Leslie Kolovich, and you're listening to the SUP radio show, where today I talk more than just stand-up paddling. Today it's soul and it's music. My guest, singer-songwriter and recording artist and contestant on NBC's The Voice, Jeff McBride. So keep it here on the original stand-up paddle radio show. You're going to love today.
Coming from relationships that never seem to last. Try to pick up the pieces from the shadows that we cast. Sometimes you gotta stop and face the cold hard facts. You can't be first, but you might be next. You can't be first, but you might be next.
Hey Jeff, it's so good to have you in my studio today.
And it's good to see you again.
I know it's been since 2008. I was going through my iTunes, plugged in your name, and popped up that interview with you and Tim, 2008.
That was a journey.
Wow.
That was a journey.
That was a journey, and you sang live in the studio at 30A Radio with me.
I remember that.
Amazing to have you here. Like you said, it's been a journey since 2008. Lots has happened with you, for you, all about you. Let's get our listeners who may not know about you, I don't know what rock they're hiding under. You have been singing since you were 3 years old, right?
Right.
And from North Carolina, started in a gospel choir?
Yes.
Yeah, so music's in your soul.
That's a good way to put it. People say blood, but I say soul. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, it is. And so let's talk about your journey. You started at 3 years old. You knew music was something that you were going to be doing forever, it sounds like.
I did, and I originally wanted to go to school to be a pediatric surgeon.
Wow.
But after learning, what doctors really have to go to, and then you release your patient out into the world, I don't think I could ever let go of a patient in that sense. But I feel like with music, since I've been given that gift, it allows me to connect more with an audience and be personal with people,
For sure. And your sound, that really the only word that comes to my mind, it really is soul. Your sound comes from your soul. It's an amazing voice. And you had an amazing time on the second season of The Voice.
Yes, I did.
Not too long ago. And that really affected your whole life, didn't it?
It did, in a tremendous aspect. You never can really expect or know what to expect when you go into a situation like that. I'm not a big fan of reality TV, and my wife and I were sitting in front of the computer one day, and she said, "You ought to do something like The Voice." And I said, "Honey, come on, you know me." But we sent in a demo to the executive producers there, and they got right back with us in like 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I got off the stage at first note and drove to Atlanta, did the audition, and from there is history.
Wow. So tell me what that felt like, stepping out on that stage.
It was a unbelievable adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Because I always said, I'll be fine. I didn't care about the auditions and all the preliminaries we had to go through. It was just I wanted to get on that stage.
Yeah.
And to be back in a big arena like that, it felt great. It really did.
How many people are actually in that audience?
If I'm correct, I think there's 500-600.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And when you walk out, and the band was incredible. I mean, you had some of the most prolific players in the world in the band. But when you go to rehearsals, it's cool. Mm-hmm. But to walk out on that stage and know that you're there, you've arrived, it was the most unbelievable feeling.
Very cool. Well, you're a singer, songwriter, recording artist, and an artist. And after The Voice, you attracted many, many people around the world to your sound and your style. And so it's bringing you to this next journey.
And that journey is going to be a great one. A great one.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about your project called Journey to the Soul.
Yes.
I love it. This is just all making such great sense.
I just, my wife and I came up with that because all of this has been a journey. I signed to Arista Records in 1989, and I left them in 96. So, you know, my biggest thing is I wanted a family. Met my wife, and we have 3 beautiful kids now, but getting back to where I want to be with my career is the main aspect right now of where I want to go.
Right on. So let's talk about this whole project. I know you're partnering up with Tremel Starks.
Right.
And let's, you know, you guys did a great rendition together of Summer Breeze. It's very cool.
When he first introduced me to the track, I was like, okay, this is Seals and Croft. How would I flip this? And I didn't really pay attention to the lyric and the content of the song until the day before the performance. So I called Tremel. I said, Tremel, what's up, buddy? He said, well, I'll be there in a day or so, and we'll just go ahead and do it. And I was like, wow, this is great. I really, really connected when I finally got to the studio with where he was going with it. And it probably took us like 2 hours to finish it.
Wow. Yeah, it's a great thing.
Curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light shining through the window lets me know everything's alright. See the baby lying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door.
All right, let's get really focused now. Journey to the Soul project. Tell us how it's going to work, what you're hoping for.
Well, as we all know, the music industry has changed dramatically. I feel like what I want to do is expose people to the true me, the real me, and where I go in my soul with what I want to do musically. I think, first of all, music is a universal language. Everybody can relate to a soul.
Right.
So soul is not just, you know, soul music. It's relating to the soul of a person. And when you, as an artist, have honed your craft enough, I feel like you touch so many people. So I want to go to the soul of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're just giving me chills thinking about this, because truly music always changes my mood. Always, you know.
Definitely.
I mean, if I could be totally just in the dumps and turn on a really soulful song, or one that just has lyrics that just lifts you. I mean, you can't help but have a mood change cellularly.
That's true. And I was listening to one song that another dear friend of mine, Joy Shalling, and I are working on right now, Soul Shine. I think the Allman Brothers wrote it or whatnot, and Government Mule redid it. Well, in listening to that song, there's so many elements of life, you know, that give back to the heart and soul of people. You know. I can't wait to perform that one anyway. Oh,
wow. Yeah, great song. Well, and I know in your early days you toured around with Aretha Franklin.
Yes.
Talk about soul.
Yeah, that was, you know, being on Arista Records, I had the chance or opportunity to work with so many great artists, Ashford Simpson, Aretha Franklin, Sarah McLachlan, Gina Vanelli, Barry Manilow. And I think at that time, I was still green. I was still a little greenhorn, as they say. So I learned so much from the record company. And not so much performing with those artists, but being around them, you know, and just sitting down in a quiet moment and learning what music was all about and being a vocalist, you know.
Right. And I'm sure as you have gotten older and more wise to the music industry, I'm sure you've been able to look at those experiences with amazing artists and pick and choose the best of all of those. And it sounds like what your soul journey's about.
That's true. I just spoke to my brother the other day, and I was like, he has to kind of remind me where I have been, because honestly, I don't even think about it during the course of the day. You know, I think that if you've been blessed with a talent, especially in music, that's a universal language, as I said, you shouldn't be arrogant.
Right.
You know, I remember performing at the Fish House with a dear friend of mine, Tim Jackson, for years. And there was times when he and I do a 4-hour show, no break, and just do it. But we would, reminisce about why people become so displaced when they get to a certain status. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's just no need.
That's true. And, you know, you see this so often with some of the younger musicians that are coming out, and you could almost just put your finger on it like, this kid's going down the wrong path, you know. And what would you say to parents or these young artists that are coming up, you know, that have the pure good reasons at the beginning? How do they avoid getting into all that?
Well, the first thing you have to do, once again, is realize that it's a gift.
Yeah.
You can either embrace it, utilize it, or you can destroy it. And the only way you can destroy it, the only person really can destroy it, first of all, is you, if it's a gift. Secondly, you know, you got to realize what you have.
Yeah.
You know, if you constantly or continuously want to give back to this world with the language you know, take care of it.
That's right. Probably surround yourself with people with like minds helps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and to be able to recognize those who are trying to just use you and, you know,
and it's
make
hard.
some money.
It's hard in the industry. It really, really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people want to get involved with your Journey to the Soul project, what's the best way for that? You
could go on Indiegogo.com and just look at Jeff McBride, The Journey. And it tells you about the whole project and where monies are allocated and where we're going with it, you know.
You are working with people all the way around the world. That's your hope, right?
Right.
A sound from the whole world.
Right. And that's one of the things, I think, looking back at The Voice, it's given me that alleyway to go through. And I realize how many fans I do have coming from the Arista days till now, because they all wanted to know. They thought, where is Jeff McBride? Well, I'm still here. Yeah. But time, you know, has its way of fixing things and making things possible. So I think now it's possible.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. You find yourself on one path, and then when the time is right, woo, look out.
And I've been told that, you know, well, once you leave The Voice, you only got a window of time. Well, I've been off The Voice now for a while, and the window's still wide open. Yeah. I'm just letting the breeze blow in.
There you go. Well, very cool. Well, I look forward to following this and helping you in any way I can, because I love your soul.
Thank
I really do.
And likewise.
All right. Well, thanks again. And tell us your website one more time.
That is www.indiegogo.com. And that's Jeff McBride, The Journey. Check it out.
Very good. Have a great day.
Thank you.
See you later. Well, that was a pretty cool moment in my career to be able to have Jeff McBride back in this studio. That's probably like the second time that I had interviewed him, but that was after he had been on The Voice. And he's just a really cool guy. I love what he has to say. You know, when you were talking about, you know, what do you do for these young musicians who are coming up and, you know, getting caught up in the industry and all that has to offer. And he says the main thing is you've got to remember what you're doing. You have a gift. And your gift is, you know, don't abuse your gift. Your gift is to be shared with the world. And that's your singing, your songwriting, and your voice. And it is a gift. It truly is a gift. You know, we see these amazing musicians in the world today that you just come up with these incredible voices, but unfortunately we see them get caught up in this crazy industry that somehow just the money of it all just drags them down. And we see this way too often. So, that is one thing that I really hope that in some way that my show and people who, are doing the same like-minded kind of things. That's why I like the Green Door so much, and TJ and those guys, and working with them, is because the goal is to help musicians know that they don't have to go down that road to share their gift. You don't have to go down that road that's going to just drag you down into the gutter and destroy your soul. I love Jeff McBride's last CD that he was talking about. It's called Journey to the Soul. And sometimes we really do have to do a lot of soul searching to see why are we in this? Why are we doing this? Where was the beginning root? What was the passion? And get back to that sometimes. Well, I'd like to play another song from Jeff McBride. Let me see if I can do this real quick. And this is a Jeff McBride song. I like this. It's called Ain't Nothing Like a Bad Woman. So keep it right here on Hound Dog Radio.
Like a bad woman, she'll bring you down when you're supposed to be up. Have you hiding your tears, yeah, outside walking in the cold rain. She knows all the things to say that shouldn't be said. Keep you going round in circles inside your head. Even though my heart may break, I know one day the sun's gonna shine. All the pain you put me through, baby, I'm better because of you. Ain't nothing like a bad woman. She'll take away your soul. Ain't no need to talk about the money, no. Lord knows I'm broke. Having trouble realizing I'm better off with you gone. Now look around for something, a new place to call home. Even though my heart may break, I know one day the sun's gonna shine. All the pain you put me through, baby, I'm better because of you. Ain't nothing like a bad woman. Said there ain't nothing wrong. There ain't nothing wrong when a man loves a woman, but don't love a bad woman. Oh. Have you standing in a corner, feeling so much pain? Cut deep, yeah.
The smooth sounds of Jeff McBride right here on Hound Dog Radio. I'm Leslie Kolovich. We're going to continue with another couple songs with Jeff McBride. And we're going to come back to do some more music interviews. I've got a screwy wire on my computer. Keep it here.
Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Met this girl 2 weeks ago. She's different than anyone I know. Bring me up when I'm feeling down. Call me an angel while she's here on the ground. Precious, precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Took her home, feeling right. We lived a dream, yeah, all through the night. Wake up in the morning to the ray of sunshine. She's so precious, brought a tear to my eye. Precious, 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 precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above. Precious, precious baby that I love, sent to me from the man above.
That song was called Precious Precious by Jeff McBride. I just love his voice. So smooth. Next up is a song off of Ain't Nothing Like a Bad Woman album called Can't Be First.
coming from relationships that never seem to last. Try to pick up the pieces from the shadows that we cast. Sometimes you gotta stop and face the cold hard facts. You can't be first, but you might be next. You can't be first, but you might be next. A lot of bad luck and trouble seem to follow us both. Soon as one door opens, another one seems to close. Glad you took the time to think of me in the time of despair. Though another woman's sitting beside me in this here chair. You can't be first, but you could be next. You can't be first, but you could be next. Let's take the time to analyze the situation that we're in. Who knows what might happen when she comes back in? I saw her looking at Kim from across the floor. Tomorrow morning when it comes, she might not be here no more. You can't be first, but you could be next. You can't be first, but you might be next. Oh. Time to analyze the situation that we're in. Who knows what might happen when she comes back in? Saw looking at him from across the floor. Tomorrow morning when it comes, she might not be here no more. You can't be first, but you could be next. You can't be first, but you might be next. But you could be next. Can't be first, but you might be next.
Jeff McBride right here. Leslie Kolovich live on Hound Dog Radio. Awesome. Jeff McBride, cool guy. Check him out. He's all over the website. Jeff, Geoff McBride. All right. Hey, let me slide this right back here. Okay. Here we are. We're on Hound Dog Radio, and it is straight up 9 o'clock Central Time, according to the Mac. And that's always accurate, right? I'm Leslie Kolovich, and we're having a great time here tonight in my basement studio. And thank you for joining me. And let me just tell you a little bit about the show if you're just popping in here. Next week, we will have live musicians in the studio. And I'll be doing the same kind of thing that I was doing with the interviews that you're hearing tonight. So the musician, singer-songwriter gets to come in here, sit down, and have a great conversation with me. I like to call it coffee talk. As you know, I love coffee. And so coffee talk just kind of works just right. And so I always think it's kind of cool because you get to know the musician in a different way. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. Once again, next week we're having Chauncey Crandall in the studio next week, and I have heard some fantastic things about this guy. Let me just show you one more time his picture. And yep, February 5th, he'll be live right here in the basement studio talking story with me, and we'll be getting to hear his music. And I understand that he's going to blow our socks right off. I hope not, because it's so cold. Maybe next week it's going to be a lot warmer because we are in Florida, and one day it can be 70 degrees. The next day it's 42. So everybody seems to have either allergies or a cold. Knock on wood. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, so the hound dog is out there getting some hot chocolate. I think I'm going to look for another interview to share with everybody tonight, because we have one more hour to go, and I just want to share with you some of these incredible interviews that I've had in the past. And I just, sometimes when I listen to them, I just go, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that these people were actually in my studio. It's just pretty cool. And as you know, this area is we're in South Walton along 30A, and we have a very, very big deal Songwriters Festival that happens here every January. And so we get to have some of the best musicians and up-and-coming musicians come our way. Let's see. Mike Whitty. Now this guy, he is cool. Let's do a Mike Whitty. Mike Whitty is a local musician in our area here. And he's just got one of these really, really dynamic sounds, full of energy, plays a lot at a local restaurant here called Pandora's. And I've seen him play at weddings too. And if you get a Mike Whitty to play at your wedding is pretty dang cool. So here it is. This is Mike Whitty.
Hi, this is Claire Bannerman.
And I'm Leslie Kolovich.
Wait
You're
a
listening
second.
to our This is not the one. That's not the one. Sorry, guys. But it could have been. You never know. But if you get the opportunity to hear Mike Whitty and you're in our area, do it. You will really, really, really like him. Let's see. I'm looking for, actually, last year I spoke. I have so many interviews that I want to share with people. I'm looking for Sugarcane Jane, actually. That would be in the S section. Come on, I know you're here. And I'm just having a hard... Oh, how about this? Web Wilder, guys. This is an awesome, awesome interview. Enjoy this one. This was keep in mind, I have a website called SUP Radio Show, and it all started out with stand-up paddle radio. And then it turned into Soulful Uplifting People, where I was really focusing on the arts, music, and living your life with purpose. And Web Wilder is one of these kind of guys, super soulful. Enjoy it right here on Hound Dog Radio. Hey there, you're listening to the SUP Radio Show. And I have got Web Wilder in the studio today as we are talking about 38 songwriters today. Web Wilder.
And the cost, she won't come around. She won't come around. Now she's on the phone. Another one ringing down the hall, all alone. That's the way she likes it, y'all. She won't come around. She won't come around for me. You're in baby's mind. It's so long way from there to her heart. She left it behind.
She don't finish what she starts. She won't come around. She won't come around. She won't come around for me.
Wow, Webb Wilder right here in the SUP radio studio. So glad to have you today.
Thank you, Leslie. I'm glad to be here.
Nice. Well, you are here down for the 30A Songwriters Festival. Is this your first festival here?
Second.
Second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take us back to your very first Songwriters Festival. What did you think when you came? Or you came back?
Yeah, I loved it, and I felt kind of silly because, you know, I was born and raised in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which is not an eternity away,
Right.
but I'd never been to the Panhandle of Florida.
Wow.
And I just love it, you know, and I now have an affinity for Gouda grits.
Yeah. Gouda grits from
Well, actually, the first place we had them, is it called the Hurricane or something?
Hurricane Oyster Bar?
I think so.
Yeah. Nice.
And, you know, I mean, they got them other places, but that's a nice place too. But yeah, I loved it down here. And, you know, I saw a lot of my friends, and then I saw a lot of people that I've admired that I got to meet or hear or whatever. And, you know, this trip, I've run into a few people who I admired and or who were, you know, famous or whatever, who told me they were fans of mine, you know, and that's cool with ordinary people too when it happens, and you just never know. Making these records and doing all these gigs, you know, all these years, it's kind of like putting messages in bottles. You really don't know, A, if there are recipients, and
Yeah.
B, who they are, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. Absolutely. Well, we have like 150 artists here this year.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and over 234 shows for the weekend. Yeah, so there's a lot of great music happening and some amazing songwriting. And I'm sure you've heard this too. Songwriters come here to the Panhandle because they get inspired.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was talking with Sterling Fletcher the other day, and they were saying, you know, it's just this 21-mile stretch that you really get your inspiration from. You know, we don't have the high rises. We have these beautiful coastal dune lakes right here on the Gulf. Mm-hmm. And there's just something magical about this area.
Well, and you know, this is, I've never figured out a way to articulate this very well, but there's something about, with all due respect to every place there is,
right.
There's something about this place, this part of Florida, that it's still the South.
Yeah.
Because, you know, funnily enough, you know, Florida is the southernmost state, but a lot of places you go, it's all transplants.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know. The South is a soulful place, and I'm a Southerner, and it's the best of both worlds. You get to go to Florida, you know, so it's great. Yeah, I like it.
I hear you. So you've been songwriting and playing music for many years now.
Yeah, you know, with no plan, no goals, no method, no sense, you know. But my aunt, Montressa Wilder, told me I sang before I talked, and I like telling that because it sounds like I'm really great. But I pressed her on. I was like, well, you know, really? You know, what was it? Oh, it was like la 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 or something. Okay, that's more like it. But yeah, all my life pretty much, and I ran from it for a long time because I thought, well, you can't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm always behind.
Well, you know, when did you find out that you could do this?
You know, in a very sort of earthbound way, and this is not so much the case now as it was then, but like way back after we put out the first album,
mm-hmm.
and because I say we, it was definitely a band situation then, and we put out the first album, we got all this great press on it, and then we got a real agent. Wow. Who took a real interest in us, and then we suddenly realized you can work every night. It's just not always gigs you want to play.
Yeah.
But we could kind of pick and choose, and we could work as much as we could stand without getting sick or something. And it was hard, you know, and it was not always stellar work, like I say. But that was a very like, okay, you can do this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
So back to, you know, songwriting. When did you know that you had the ability to write songs? Were you just writing songs? You just writing things down? How did that come about?
That's a good question. I guess whether I'd, you know, honored it properly or did it enough or had enough discipline and all those sort of questions I always beat myself up with. I think in high school, you know. I grew up with this guy who was an incredibly talented, prolific songwriter, and he was always ahead of me in terms of his prolific output, and he went on to produce all my early records and past the early records, and I always did a lot of his songs, and we wrote together and stuff. So, I think maybe I just thought, well, I'm just going to do his songs, you know. But even before that, when I was, and he's 2 years older, when I was quite young, because of his songwriting, there was a guy named David Huff who had a band called Little David and the Giants. And I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I may have said that. And so Laurel, Mississippi is just a little town near there. Steve Forbert wrote a song about it. And this band had a deal on Capitol Records, and there were these young men who made their full-time living out of playing music. And they had a singles deal on Capitol. They didn't have an album deal. And they had their own freestanding brick-and-mortar studio.
Wow.
You know, and the drummer had portrayed Little Ricky on the I Love Lucy show as a child.
Oh, wow.
He was great. A guy named Keith Thibodeau. And so David took an interest in Bobby Field's songwriting, and I was the tag-along bass player. And then that led to us having our band buy some studio time there. And I wrote a song, and I sang it, and I put the vocal down first, and the engineer and everybody said, hey, don't even come in, sing it again. And they double tracked it.
Wow.
Which apparently is what John Lennon did with his vocals a lot. So for the first time I ever heard my voice in a studio, I heard two of me at once.
That must have been freaky.
It was like kind of like, wow, I like doing this. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you know, being a Southerner, Southerners are known for storytelling.
That's true.
And so songwriting and country music and from the South just goes hand in hand.
Yeah, everybody on both sides of my family, big talkers. And my mother, I had no idea, but later in life, you know, maybe from sort of her 60s on, it seemed like she lived to be about 90, but she wrote poetry. And then she had forgotten that she wrote it as a kid or something. Someone reminded her, but it came back to her or something.
Wow.
And I never dreamed she was really even a creative person, but she was.
Nice, nice. Well, you know, being in the South, I'm originally from out west. Out from Utah.
Great.
Been out here now 15 years about. And there's so much to write about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the beauty of the South, you know, just the big old trees and the moss and the porches and the long roads, you know, it's great writing material.
Well, and you know, coming down here, I mean, I think, you know, it's cool to fly, but because it's a little exhausting to drive from Nashville, but those great back road highways and the seepy, shady. It's bittersweet. It conjures up all sorts of memories and all. But you know, the South, as I always say, and I'm not the first one to say it, it's built on an Afro-Celtic cultural tradition.
Yeah, I haven't heard that before, but that would make sense.
So you know how rich is the African American culture, and how rich is the transplanted American Southern Celtic culture, and how many things they really have in common. You know, the storytelling, the colorful language, the informality, the you know, the playing of stringed instruments and folk songs and all that stuff, and horse racing and you name it. You know, so that's what makes it real soulful. Yeah, absolutely. I love the soulful part of it. And your songs, you know, when I listen to songwriters, you really get to hear the story. You know, it is soulful. There is a story behind, you know, the music. And, you know, a lot of today's pop music, you just go, I'm listening to what my kids are listening to. I'm like, why do you like this? You know, and they don't even hear the words. They're just listening to the beat, you know, the big bass. They don't hear those words. Yeah, and that's kind of... Although there were always people who were not lyric people back in the classic rock years. You know, you'd talk to people and they go, well, you know, I'm not such a lyric person. But, and, you know, I don't know. I was always kind of both. I thought it was always a package deal. If you just had one without the other, it wasn't quite...
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. There's got to be something that catches your ear, and then maybe they'll listen to those words.
There's a reason the music of people like the Beatles and the Stones endure, because we all know the Beatles changed the world. We all know Lennon and McCartney were great and great lyricists in the process. And people don't wave the flag for him as much as they should in this regard. But Mick Jagger is a great lyricist.
Yeah.
And the way he sang, you don't always understand what he's singing about. And if you do your due diligence and find out, the lyrics are always better than what you would have, and more unusual and creative than you would have imagined.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why I really like Google, because you can you can Google lyrics.
It's killer.
Because sometimes, I can't tell you how many times I have thought some line in a song was one thing, and then I actually read it and like, oh my gosh, I've been singing this wrong the whole time, But yeah, so you want to have another song maybe you want to sing for us now?
Sure. And I guess this one comes to mind. We were talking about the South and the roads and one thing and another. And, I was fortunate enough to go to New Orleans a lot and hear, strangely enough, English bands. I wish I'd checked out New Orleans music live more when I was a young man and when I was in my
everything
teens.
there, right?
Well, yeah, and there were these venues that weren't quite like Coliseum size, and I can't name them all, but you had the Fillmores and the Agora ballrooms and places like that. And in New Orleans, there was a place called the Warehouse, and it was a repurposed old warehouse. And I saw, let's see, who all did I see there? I saw the Faces, I saw Mott the Hoople, I saw Jethro Tull, I saw Yes, and Brownsville Station, and
wow.
I'm sure I'm leaving some people out. Southern Comfort, Deep Purple.
Wow.
I wasn't that into Deep Purple. I had to sit through them to see the Faces. and whether it was at that venue or not, in New Orleans I saw Badfinger, and I became a huge fan. And we would go to Mobile, Alabama, saw the Stones and the Eagles and Elton John and stuff. So anyway, we would be on the road going there, and we would sometimes break down in Slidell, Louisiana, in these cars we had.
Slidell.
And, I wanted to get a New Orleans feel on this song, and this was a song about just trying to be more comfortable in my own skin. And my joke is that I didn't quite achieve a New Orleans feel. It's more of, I got about as far as Slidell.
Okay.
And this is the title track of the last album. It's called More Like Me. I want to be more like me. I want to be who I'm supposed to be. I want to do all the things I'm supposed to do. I want to find out what is real, get a feel for the deal, and then I kinda got a feeling I won't have no feelings for you. You meant everything to me, but now your memory won't set me free. And so I'm trying to make peace now with my feelings for you. Because they say that when you dead, you done. That's a race that's done been run. I want to have some fun before my time is through. Ain't studied on the Buddhist, but it's on my to-do list. I'll get around to it somehow. They must be onto something. That chanting sounds like humming. They got a message, and it's baby be here now. And so it seems to me that the future's never plain to see. You got to fake it till you make it. You can't change your past no how. So go ahead and get on the right track. It's a natural fact. There's no time like the present. I'm talking about right now. Everything was groovy, like something in a movie. Girl, we had it going on. But then you went and left me. Yeah, now that upset me. Now I know it's always darkest right before the dawn, or so it seems to me. That the past is history. The future is a mystery, and the time is now to go ahead and get on the right track. Let me tell you, Jack, you got to fake it till you make it, and it don't hurt to shake it no how. That's right. If you shake it, don't break it. When you make it, you can take a bow. That's a lot of words. I want to be more like me, and I'm starting right now. Wow.
Wow. I love that song. Tell me about that writing of that song.
Well, I don't know how good a story it makes, and I love New Orleans music, and there's so much there that I can't I'm far from being an expert and certainly someone who hasn't heard it all. But amongst the greatest body of work is the Lee Dorsey stuff that Alan Toussaint wrote and or produced. And, you know, Lee Dorsey working in a coal mine and sneaking through the alley with Sally and Yes We Can. And anyway, this is all great stuff. And he had such an identifiable, unique, but one-size-fits-all relaxed vocal persona. And, of course, the great pocket and the great groove of those recordings and all. And so I was into that when I wrote this song, I think. And that's why I say I didn't quite knock that out of the ballpark feel-wise. But I think I was also really trying to stand in my own light and come out from the shadow of being influenced too much by other people. So that was the thematic, lyrical thing about it.
Got it, yeah. Well, I think you definitely have your own thing. You stepped into that light very well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. So the last of the full-grown men. Everybody asks you that?
No, but not everybody, but people do, and not as much lately. Maybe they don't care as much lately. But, you know, Muddy Waters had that great song, Mannish Boy, and then he redid it later on with Johnny Winter producing and playing on it. And a lot of people, a whole different generation heard it, and he would say, like, you know, I'm a man, I spell M-A-N,
right.
no B-O-Y, you know, and he said, I'm full grown.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, I'm a big guy, and all my heroes and all the rock stars and all are elfin little people. From the singing cowboys through the British rock stars through the stars of television and movies.
Great.
So I thought I'm gonna come up with something before somebody calls me fat. And I think that's when I came up with the last of the full-grown men.
I like that. That's awesome. You know, I was looking through your quotes from the media, and I think one of my favorite quotes came by the Macon Telegraph. If your band was a cigarette brand, Webb Wilder and the Beatniks would be Lucky Strikes. Unhyped, unfiltered, and probably dangerous in large doses.
Wow, great. Viva le Macon Telegraph.
Yeah. Well, so you have your whole band down here?
No, not one of them.
Not one of them. Well, cool. So where are you playing tonight?
You know, I'm not. I'm actually emceeing through the good graces of a close associate. I'm actually emceeing the big Americana Music Association presentation.
Nice.
That features the songwriters they had already booked before I came aboard as the host. And among them, you have Grant Lee Phillips and Allison Moorer, Mary Gaucher, Kim Ritchie, and Andrew Combs.
You got a great lineup there tonight.
Some other people.
Yeah.
I'm leaving somebody important out, I'm sure. But anyway, other people, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
And then tomorrow night I play at Bud and Alley's.
Bud and Alley's is one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
It's a great venue right there on the Gulf side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's
true.
Outside, so, you know, dress warm.
No joke. I didn't think about that.
But they have it all, you know, tented in, and they have the heat lamps, so
Okay,
you'll be
yeah, it'll be
fine.
fine, yeah.
So you're recording a new album right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've been... First of all, like I say, there are these two songs at iTunes now that actually were recorded in April of 2011, you know, and I can't believe I let them languish that long. And the producer I was working with, a dear friend of mine who's very talented, Joe V. McMahon, he had the misfortune of having his studio burn.
Ooh.
And he's been rebuilding it. It'll be bigger and better than ever. He had insurance, all this stuff, but what a horrible thing to go through.
Right.
And so his idea was that I should... way back when, he probably changed his mind since then, was that I should make kind of a garagey album, you know, where I find all these things, these obscure old covers and things and do them. And I liked that idea, but it proved a little more challenging because there's always another way to look at it. And one way I was looking at it was to take that quite literally and find these old garage band, regional band kind of songs. And sadly, a lot of them are better in memory than they really are, or they'll be a pale imitation of Paperback Writer by the Beatles. And so I was kind of scratching my head for a while, and then I kind of realized that, you know, I got to get on the stick here, and I'm always starting songs, and I'm not always finishing them. So actually, I'll do the song that I'm going to tell you about. So I was writing this song based on an old country expression my mother used to use, and ran into a guy named John Hadley, who was a writer on a song I didn't write that I recorded early on that people love called Poolside. And we finished that song. And so that was like, okay. And the next thing you know, I take the band in the studio, and we had a very productive day. And then we found some stuff other stuff that hadn't been released. We'd recorded a while back that fit. And so we're kind of off to the races now. We've got about 9 tracks. We went from having 2 to having 9.
That's good.
You know, years literally passed with 2. And then suddenly we had these 9.
Sometimes it just happens that way.
Well, it happens like it happens, you know.
That's right. Everything happens when it's supposed to, apparently, right?
Well, somebody has a song I'm quoting. I don't remember who. Everything happens for a reason, and that's the reason things happen that way.
There you go. We'll let you take the show out with this song. How about that?
That'd be great.
All right.
Now, this song is not always best for my morning voice, but it is my new song, so to speak, and it'll be on the forthcoming album. And my mother used all these expressions, and if something was sort of too good to be true, she would say, "That's too much sugar for a nickel."
I like that. That's a song title, right?
And that's the title.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Too much sugar for a nickel, too good to be true. Call off the deal if you feel that it ain't sweet enough for you. A certain kind of fella thinks he might as well make a pass at 'em all. So when he stumbles onto someone who looks like you do, he takes a swing at the ball. If he's got her wrapped it smooth and sweet, that don't mean that it's true. Just trust your intuition. I've got a suspicion he might be sweet talking you. Stop right on a dime, baby, if you find he's only in it for fun. Artificial sweetening is like a business meeting where no business gets done. There ain't no substitute, baby, for a good-hearted man. I don't think he's the one, but maybe I am. Too much sugar for a nickel, too good to be true. Call off the deal if you feel that it ain't sweet enough for you. He's got a deal to you, it might appeal to you, then leave you lonely and lost. It might sound like fun, but when it's said and done, you'll find out what it costs. I think it's all a scam, he don't give a damn, look him straight in the eye. Can't tell you what to do, but if he's playing you, get on your pony and ride. Too much sugar for a nickel, too good to be true. Call off the deal if you feel that it ain't sweet enough for you. Call off the deal if you feel, call off the deal if you feel, call off the deal if you feel that it ain't sweet enough for, ain't sweet enough for, ain't sweet enough for you. Woo!
Webb Wilder, thanks so much for being in the studio today.
Thank you, Leslie, so much.
All right, webbwilder.com. That's 2 B's, WEBB. All right, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
See you later. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening to the SUP radio show, where we are covering the 30A songwriters this weekend. Keep it right here, supradioshow.com. Whatever you do, live your life with purpose. See ya. So you have one more thing you want to tell me.
Yes, and those are my words to live by.
Yes.
The Webb Wilder Credo.
Yes.
Work hard, rock hard, eat hard, sleep hard, grow big, wear glasses if you need them.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
I love your voice.
Thank you.
Webb Wilder, 2B's, WEBB, webbwilder.com. And we are listening to some great interviews that I did about a year ago at the 30A Songwriters Festival in 2014. And having a great time. I have one more interview that I want to do with you, to share with you all. It's with Sterling Fletcher. They're a fantastic duo, husband and wife. They live up in Nashville. I met them in, I'm going to say probably 2009-ish or so, when they were down here in Panama City Beach, working hard, doing the scene, playing up and down the beach as much as I could. Now they're in Nashville, very much a part of the Americana scene, Americana Association. And Amy Fletcher actually has got this little bit in the television production of Nashville. So she kind of talks about that in this interview. So I hope you're enjoying tonight right here in the basement. Next week we have live musicians in for interviews and playing right here. But right now I'm just kind of giving you a little flavor of what I can do and what I have done and what's going to be happening in the future. So stay with me as I pull up the Sterling Fletcher interview, and that'll take the show out for us. Sterling Fletcher right here, Hound Dog Radio. Thank you guys so much for letting me do this show tonight. Hey there, this is Leslie Kolovich, and you're listening to the SUP Radio Show, soulful, uplifting programming. We focus on the environment, the arts, and music. And today's show is all about music and songwriting as we head into the 30A Songwriters Festival here on the beaches of South Walton. And joining me today is Walt and Amy Fletcher, also known as Sterling Fletcher. They are the y'alternative genre and big time into Americana music, and two really cool people. Glad to call them friends. Super excited to have them here in the studio today, so join me in welcoming Sterling Fletcher. Hey guys, so great to have you here in my studio.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. Woo! Glad to be here.
I know. Well, you guys are down here for the 5th annual 30A Songwriters. Yes, the 5th.
Whoa.
The 5th annual.
Yeah, can you believe it? How many have you guys been in?
Every one.
Every single one from the very beginning. Man,
Yeah.
so is that how long I've known you? Did I meet you just before that one?
Before. Just before.
Just before. That's
Yeah.
right.
I think that's the last time we saw you, too.
No, it wasn't. No, because that's how then we got connected through 30A Radio. Mm-hmm. Did more with that.
Living in Nashville now, we have been traveling quite a bit, though.
Even when we were in Panama City, we traveled more. We toured outside of,
All right. Well, let's rein this in for those, because we know each other. Okay.
Right.
So now we're going to just talk a little bit about you. You guys are into the Americana scene big time, and I love what you call your sound, y'alternative.
Yeah.
And I first met you, I'm going to say it was about 6 years ago then.
Probably.
Yeah.
A little while ago.
So you guys have accomplished a ton since then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just a lot of touring, a lot of traveling, a lot of playing like that. And let's see, what else? Well, the Americana scene, we started with them, the Americana Association. We started with them when they first started, which was probably I'm going to say 13 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
Something like that. I think they've been around now. Is it about right?
I don't
13?
know. I know that Johnny Cash was alive when it started.
Yes. Right.
He was.
Is that how we gauge everything now, Johnny Cash?
Well,
Well, the second year, it was the second year.
Part of it, though, I think.
It was the second year he was there at
That's right.
the awards show, and so was June Carter, and they played.
Wow.
And I mean, from where you and I are sitting from each other, which is just a few feet for those of you listening, that's how close we were to them. And that's really, somebody that legendary right there.
I know.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was exciting.
Could you speak?
No. and then of course just all these people that were just people that are your inspiration and everything over the years. Oh gosh, Emmylou Harris, she was right there next to me. Oh my gosh, yeah.
What Johnny Cash song goes like this?
Stop Stop.
Go ahead, sing it. Let's do it.
He's-
Sing it, Walt.
He's being silly. Stop. He's stop. We're married long enough now that I can see the glimmer of silliness happening in his eyes. Like, okay, I'm going silly.
There you go. So tell me, you guys are originally from this area?
I'm from originally South Florida.
Uh-huh.
He's originally from Alabama.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And then we met in the Panhandle.
Okay. So tell me how you guys got involved as songwriters.
With the festival itself?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we just submitted for it years ago when it first started. And I have to say, truthfully, the first year I'm like, this is the first year of this. No one's ever even heard of it. What's it going to be like? I was amazed.
Right.
And how well run it was. I was like, wow, this is our first year? That's really surprising. Because we've been involved in different things over the years. And you see how things are run. And there's glitches and things, no matter anything. But it was like out of the gate. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Yeah. So you lived in the Panhandle for quite some time and were traveling back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Well, he went to Florida State.
Wow. National champions.
Mm-hmm.
Go Knowles.
He was the captain of the Florida State swim team.
Okay.
So that's what landed him in this area.
Okay.
Because he was kind of fell in love with it. I'm talking for you a lot. Sorry,
Thank
honey.
you. That's okay.
You can tell you're a married couple.
I'll get my 2 cents in here.
He talks when it matters.
That's right. So you spent a lot of time here. That's what I'm getting at here in this area. I mean, we hear so often, so many songwriters come to this area and they find inspiration to write.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Absolutely, honey. You can talk.
Yeah, actually,
I'm trying to say.
I would say they do between, if they're between here and between Panama City and Destin, not if they're in Panama City or Destin.
Right.
But if
It's
they're in the 30A area here, because there's no high rises here.
Yeah.
That's what he loves. He loves no high rises.
Yeah, I mean, you go out on the beach and you look to the east and you see Panama City high rises. You look to the west, you see Destin high rises.
Yeah.
But there are none here. So that's part of the deal of why it is so quiet and inspiring. There's a lot of trees here and the vegetation is still here. They didn't tear everything down.
Right.
So I think that's part of the attraction for
Absolutely.
putting yourself in an artistic, creative mood would be the lack of development that is around here. And thank God it's like
And
that.
you know what else too? A little off of songwriting, but in the way of inspiration, I love the attention to detail here on design. On every little thing that you see. I mean, we had a friend that bought a place in Blue Mountain Beach, and they had to have a fence around what would be their garbage receptacles. This guy designed it. He drew it out, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, where the garbage cans were going to go.
Right.
You know.
Did Pop Bear do that? Or JD? Pop Bear?
JD drew it out, and then they built it. But it was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and that's inspiring to me because that's someone who says, here's something that you need to have. You know, it could be anything.
Right.
But instead of just, putting a bunch of boards together and throwing a couple cans in there, they said, okay, let's make this a piece of art in a way. And I love that.
It's a very artistic place for sure. Walt just needs to play his guitar. Let's get a song going, you guys.
What do you want to do?
Oh, you pick one.
You want?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, what are you tuning to? I see you doing something.
That's what I was working on.
Oh, so you're tuning to something?
No, I'm back.
He's
You're
back.
Okay.
He's back.
You want to do what you did in soundcheck? Want to do that?
Yeah.
Duet.
So tell us a little bit about this song you're about to sing.
This one has not been on a record yet because our record has not come out at this moment.
We haven't finished the next one.
Yeah.
But this one will be on.
A couple glitches.
But this is we started it at least in Birmingham, Alabama, sitting at your dad's kitchen table.
That's right.
We're married.
They're married.
There were two little birdies sitting out there, and we were just looking out the window, and they were kissing, seriously. And we thought, oh my God, that is so cute. So we started writing the song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Just two lovebirds high up in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
looking down on the world below us. Keep each other's company. And all around us, things are changing. One thing stays the same. These arms of mine were meant to hold you. Kissing your sweet face, these lips remain. That's one thing that's never gonna change. Room full of people that won't keep me being lonely. Just wanna be a little lonesome, all alone, just you and me. And all around us, things are changing. One thing stays the same. These arms of mine were meant to hold you. Kissing your sweet face, these lips remain. That's one thing that's never gonna change. Hell or high water, crumbling mountains,
Fallen castles made of sand.
falling castles made of sand.
You wrote it.
Storm winds blowing, just the wind. Test of time, our love will stand. And all around us, things are changing. One thing stays the same. These hearts of mine were meant to hold you. Kissing your sweet face, these lips remain. That's one thing that's never gonna change.
Nice.
And at our show tomorrow, I promise we'll get the words right.
Well, that's good. You could even fill in the words for him right there, too, you know? See,
It's a team effort. It's a team
Truly.
effort.
It's not the first time that's happened.
Never.
I wish I could say it was. But.
So you guys have been collaborating a lot with some really amazing people, haven't you?
Well, a lot of the songs that we did on Full Circle were collaborated with Anthony Crawford from, he played with Neil Young, Steve Winwood, Dwight Yoakam, guys like that, but also is in Sugarcane Jane with Savannah Crawford, his wife, and then they have a new group called Willie Sugar Caps.
Wow.
So, and that's kind of an all-star group, Will Kimbrough and Grayson Caps.
Very
And
cool.
They're playing the festival too. Yeah. So it's I kind of called her the other day. I thought it was really funny because in the program I was looking at and our name was there and Sugarcane Jane was right with us. I was like,
Right,
we're
yeah,
meant
I
to be
saw
hanging
that.
together, you know.
I know. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. So what would you say has been the biggest thing that's happened to you in the last year, since last year's festival?
Well, for me, I've been kind of trying some different things. I've actually been writing things that weren't songs, just writing in general, and just writing some little stories and things like that, just for fun.
Nice.
Just creative stuff getting going. And then I just, for fun, signed up to be an extra on the TV show Nashville. And so
For fun.
I just
signed up.
thought I'd give it a try. So so I was an extra a few times, and then they needed a featured extra, and you had to audition.
She actually got the part, too.
Yeah.
So she's, if you ever seen the television show Nashville, Layla is the new and upcoming act, and Amy's Layla's manager.
Yes, I got cast as her manager by the fellow who wrote the episode
How
for that
cool.
TV show. And the creator is Callie Couric, who is married to T-Bone Burnett, who's a huge Americana thing. So it's all kind of comes together. But that's one of the reasons I wanted to actually even try, because I love what they're doing with the music on the show. So it's inspiring to be around
Yeah.
But that was exciting because I was like, I never really auditioned for anything like that. So I was kind of like, I don't know, you know. So I was calling friends of mine who are artist managers. How would she act? What would she do, you know? He said, well, she wouldn't be very nice. So I was like, okay.
Well, that's going to be hard for you because you're such a nice person.
Well, fortunately, I didn't have to do a lot of talking or anything. I decided to kind of give someone a dirty look and, yeah. It was fun.
She got that part down.
He thinks I've been working on that with him for a while.
You got the look
for years.
That look, the mom look. You know, when the child does something wrong. That look.
Oh, I can do that one too. I think as women, we just can get that down. It's just natural. Yeah. You have another song you want to do, Walt?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it.
You weren't even thinking about it.
You were just writing a song while you were just playing that or something?
Yeah.
He's been working on a song lately, but I don't know if it's...
The last couple of days, so I talked to Anthony about it today.
You did?
I said I need somebody to bounce it off of. I said I bounced it off, tried to bounce it off Amy, and it bounced right back at me.
No, it did not. Stop being
She
mean.
didn't absorb any of it. But...
you would want me to be, you know, your best critic.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, he's been working on it, but I don't know if the ink is dry yet.
Yeah, I didn't bring the lyrics. I just wrote the lyrics yesterday. So
next time we see Leslie, you can play it.
You can. Do you guys, can you do a June and Johnny Cash song?
Ooh, you know, we did that for the rep a while back to raise money for the
we can
rep.
do half of one because it's
just we won't take up a whole. We'll do a short one.
Okay, because we in this room here are June and Johnny Cash fans.
Oh,
big time.
There you go. Okay, we'll do a quick one.
And it's this song.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going Jackson, I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going Jackson, look out Jackson Town.
We'll go on down to Jackson, go ahead and wreck your hell. Go play your hand, you big talking man, make a big fool of yourself. Yeah, go on Jackson, you better comb your hair.
I'm gonna snowball Jackson,
Yeah, see if I care.
A little percussion, please.
I didn't bring my percussion.
Where's your tambourine?
Tie my rings.
I need to have a tambourine on hand always.
I should too. I'm playing a tambourine.
when I breeze into that city, people gonna stoop and bow. I'm gonna show all them women, you know, things that they never knew how. I'm going Jackson, or lose my coat. Yeah, I'm going Jackson.
Goodbye's all she wrote, but I'll laugh at you in Jackson. I'll be dancing on a pony cake. They'll lead you around town like a scalded hound with your tail tucked between your legs. Yeah, go on, Jackson, you big talking man. Yeah, I'll be waiting in Jackson behind my J-Pad van.
Yeah, we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going Jackson, I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going Jackson, look out Jackson Town. Yeah, we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout.
Love it. Thank you so much for singing that one.
It's funny.
Nice.
Too bad we didn't write that one. That'd be some good mailbox money.
No kidding. Yeah. There's a line in that song that my husband and I always are like, what is it? What is that word? The JPEG man?
Japan fan.
Japan fan.
Japan.
Oh.
But she said Japan.
Ah.
That's the southern way. Yeah.
Because that was always like,
whenever that was written, wasn't that kind of the thing to have the little fan to...
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that was kind of a fancy fan from Japan, right?
There you go.
So Japan fan, that's what that is. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So where are you guys staying? Are you in Seaside somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we're staying with at the festival. People put up their homes,
nice,
and which is wonderful for all the writers who come, and the hospitality is wonderful here. So. We were put together with a family a few years ago. We were actually playing in Colorado at the time, and we were there for like 3 months, and it happened around the same time as the festival, so we flew in, and we got together with the family, and we've been with them every year since then. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. I got to have some artists come stay with us next time. I mean, we got space. We could have like a whole herd of y'all in here.
You might want to be careful putting that on the air. You will be inundated with songwriters looking for a place to stay. I'm not going to lie. You're like, oh, I heard you have a room.
I know. But I love these creative people like y'all. It's just so cool to be around people. And I'm so glad to be back in this scene with the songwriters.
Yeah.
I love having this in my studio right here, right now. So, Walt, you got to talk to us. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about this weekend?
Well,
you can sing it. You can sing your thoughts.
That'd be fun.
No, I'm really wanting to do this new song that I got to finish it before tomorrow, or at least before Sunday.
So, folks, you need to come hear our show to hear this song. That's the ink's not even dry yet on this one. So,
it actually requires 3-part harmonies.
It's a really pretty song.
So,
he said words I could sing with you.
He said I was being critical, but I wasn't. I was just like, saying some, it's part of the process when you write. You have to be able to kind of work out the kinks and stuff.
Right.
But right off the bat, I was like, that's awesome. The sound is beautiful, too. He's coming up with some real cool, dare I say, Crosby, Stills, Nash kind of a feel. I like it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the intro.
That's a teaser.
Oh, I like it.
As a teaser.
I like it a lot. You guys have your schedule so we can put that out?
We'll be at the Gathering Spot Friday, which is tomorrow at 3:30. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Sunday we will be at the Boathouse.
6:30.
6:30.
It's a watercolor.
At Watercolor, the Boathouse at Watercolor. Yeah.
That's a great venue.
It really
it's
is
all
beautiful.
wood.
Well, the wood. Everybody loves to play there because the sound is so good in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great sound.
Yeah, it is.
And it's neat looking. There's and during the workshops, they'll have workshops in the morning. It's fun to go because the light's all coming through the windows, and it just has this really neat atmosphere. Real creative vibe there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love it.
And there's a bunch of stand-up paddles there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great lake to paddle on.
Yeah.
Western Lake.
One of these days, I'm going to do that.
Well, I have a whole bunch of them here. You can go out with me anytime. You just call me.
Ooh, I'd love to go.
If you change my strings, I'll have to give you a paddleboard lesson.
Ooh, now there's a good trade out right there.
We're on.
Deal.
Yeah.
He'll change your strings, and he probably doesn't need a lesson, so maybe you should give it to me because he can surf.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
And he's a swimmer. But I'm probably the one who will be like, huh? How's that working? I know you have to stand up on it.
You can do it. You can do it.
We
Be
definitely
fun.
need to put some new strings on your guitar. Though.
Yeah.
We'll do that before the weekend's out.
Well, you guys really have inspired me. Like I said before, I have had my guitar sitting in that room now since we've been here. I've picked it up maybe twice, and I'm like, oh, my fingers, you know, they don't have the calluses on them anymore.
It hurts.
It hurts. How long does that take till that hurt is gone?
About a year.
A year.
It hurts.
I'll start. I'll start now. Well, guys, it's been fantastic having you in the studio today and to catch up with you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Anything else you want to quickly say before we say goodbye?
No, it's just great to see you, Leslie.
Yeah. Glad to be here, and we'll see you at the next one. And
that's right.
Catch up some more.
And hopefully we'll see you sooner than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to go another year.
No, I'm sure you'll be, they're here again in the summer visiting.
Got a room.
There she goes again. She said it twice.
I said it
if she
twice.
says it 3 times, she's in trouble.
I got a room.
That's it. We're staying.
Okay. How to get in touch with you, see your stuff. You have a website?
Yeah. Well, SterlingFletcher.com is a website, but someone else kind of handles that for us. So the Facebook page, I kind of try to click on that every now and then and see what's happening. So that would be probably the easier way to
Isn't
get right.
Facebook amazing for networking?
I know, and I keep hearing that's phasing out. There'll be something new. It tires me out because I'd rather not think about And there's always something else, and you have to learn it. And it's like, really?
No, I'm not doing anything else.
It'll be my face and Facebook.
There's new things, yeah.
Facebook.
My face.
My face.
My face and Facebook. Those are the next 2 things coming out. Hear my words now.
Okay, mark them right there. We heard it first.
Help us. Social media craze.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the SUP Radio Show, where we have soulful, uplifting people, and these two are it. Okay, guys. See you this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Hey, and for more information about the 30A Songwriters Festival, you can check them out at 30asongwritersfestival.com. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also they have a free phone app, 30A SWF. Check it out. It's going to be a fantastic weekend here along the beaches of South Walton. Talk to you later. Have a fantastic day. Well, hey, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's show here in my basement studio. I'm Leslie Kolovich, and, this is just kind of just a little bit of what we're going to be doing, but it's going to even be even more dynamic because we're actually going to have the musicians right here live in the studio starting next week. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Hey, Fuzzy. Glad you're here. I'm glad you listened to the show. Glad you liked it. It's going to be even better next week, if that's even possible. Thank you, Hound Dog Radio. Everybody tune in to Hound Dog Radio for some of the best music shows and live shows just about every night of the week. And again, I am signing out. Leslie Kolovich. Peace out, everyone. Love you tons. See y'all later. Right back to you, Hound Dog.